hate puppies.
It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House.
How's it going?
My God.
Of course.
Off to a good start there.
Yeah.
I hope everybody is doing as well as they can.
Doing
Better-
good.
Better than the dog, hopefully.
Yeah.
Don't let him out.
All right. We'll just have a barking dog in the background the whole time.
Why not? The whole world's gone to shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Why wouldn't this podcast?
I mean, this is insane, man. We are recording. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but the last 4 episodes that we had were all in the can.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we ended up recording 4 episodes over the course of 2 weeks, and they came out over the course of what has been the craziest month. And so in the middle of this whole coronavirus, which now I know how to say.
Yeah, that was.
'Cause
You think a month ago?
yeah, the coronavirus, which
Whatever.
now I can finally say it, but it really did seem weird releasing that seltzer challenge,
This is our follow-up to the Seltzer Challenge, the fan favorite.
which everyone wanted when the world was normal and people were looking forward to a spring or a summer that was going to be enjoyable.
Yeah, full of drinking light seltzers with 0
Yeah.
carbs.
In fact, let's just say light,
Yeah.
full of light.
Yeah.
The world had light in it, and now I question if the world has light in it anymore. It is wild.
It's crazy.
So we had all those in the can. We put them out there, and honestly, when I saw that seltzer one go up, I was like, "That's weird. Like that's really foreign." But you know what? It was hopefully a little bit of levity in a time of absolute gravity, and that was probably the only thing that you could hear in your podcast feed or anywhere else that wasn't.
Well, that was on the
Yeah.
tip of the spear. Like, we're now a few days into it. Like, I feel like Thursday noon when the podcast went out, things hadn't really started here locally.
Yeah.
It all started Thursday afternoon here locally. And now we're...
Yeah, when I flew to Disney, because that was why a lot of this happened. I had a national sales meeting I had to
Yeah.
go to. I had Disney on the horizon. We had a handful of different things, and because of that, we had to get ahead of the curve, and we had to put them out there. Well, we went to Disney, and the coronavirus thing was there. It was something that we were thinking about, because I remember people being like, "Wow, you're flying to Disney? Like, that's kind of crazy," because people from all over the world, including Asia, were coming there, and everyone thought that this was something that you had to be in contact with people who came from somewhere else. That has been debunked, clearly.
Yeah.
So that was wild, going to Disney in the middle of all that. I was nervous then, and it was light years before where we are today.
Things weren't happening here yet.
No, it was just something that I was like, but you know what? When we got on that plane, it was like we wiped everything down. You know, we were taking care of, make sure that the seat had been
Oh, y'all
done.
were in it then.
Yeah, we were doing all that stuff, but now it's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't get on a plane now.
Or be allowed to, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if-
because this will come out Thursday. We're recording on Monday. I guarantee between now and when this comes out, everything we're talking about now seems like Candyland compared to where we are on Thursday, because this stuff changes daily.
Well, we pretty much have almost a whole, maybe a month of catch up. Like, we've put all those out of the can, and now there's a good 3 weeks of just trying to cram into this podcast now.
And we have 4 weeks of experiences to talk about, and I can't think of any of them.
Yeah, no.
Because the world was a different place.
Yeah.
It was pleasant and enjoyable.
Any Disney stories?
Yeah. So we could try to do that. We'll see how long this lasts.
Or do you want to go Corona heavy off the jump and then try to...
Let's see if we can find joy in this world, because I promise you 80 to 90% of this will be Corona.
We'll go down the Disney track real quick. The
Which is now closed, thanks to
yeah. First time ever. So Disney's whole from the time I was little to even, when I took my girls recently, which I was 2 years ago, everything is Magic Kingdom, Mickey Mouse, the ears. That's the whole premise from the entire time the place has been open. Like you go for the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, forget that.
Yeah.
You go for Avatar and
But
Star
what I'm getting
Wars.
at is now
Harry
now
Potter.
that's what I'm getting at. It's a complete change, even though they still market that entire.
I'll tell you
the
what,
girls.
that Magic Kingdom is packed. It's
Yeah.
packed.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was, and this was at the beginning of coronavirus scare, and they didn't miss a beat. Like they were packed out, which freaked me out because I wanted, just
Yeah.
slightly less
Yeah,
crowds
yeah,
would have
yeah.
been great for me. But no, unfortunately,
I always want smaller crowds, coronavirus or not.
So I did have one thing happen to me. The if you go to Universal Studios, you get
Which
the,
I haven't done, and I hear that's like better than Disney.
in a lot of respects it is. Whereas as Disney is like everything's contained.
Yeah.
Like all their restaurants are Disney, everything's there. Well,
Last
bad
time
choice of word.
I went to Universal Studios, the Back to the Future ride was the new thing.
Nice. Timely.
We didn't end up riding that because it was weak.
Yeah,
Is it weak?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's lame. It's like the ET ride and Back to the Future ride. You just kind of sit there and watch it go. But they have rides there that'll make your head spin.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah. And Universal, what I liked about Universal was they have there's 2 parks that are spread out with like a giant strip mall of all kinds of good restaurants in between them.
Oh,
so
that's
a lot
cool.
of people will just park and go into that,
Yeah.
party it up at Bob Marley's and Jimmy Buffett's and all that kind of stuff and have a blast. And then you could go into the parks if you want. But
Yeah.
there's a whole entertainment complex for drinkers and music lovers there. And
That's
movie
cool.
theaters
Nice.
and all that. So that was cool. I really liked that. And we went in there and I had been told by my cousin that you could actually get a free wand. Now the wand is the big deal in Harry
Yeah.
Potter land because you can use these wands to kind of bibbity
Yeah.
bobbity boo like
They
at
have
something.
those at Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah, same
that's
concept.
exactly done that.
So the wands are like $50+
Yeah, and you can
apiece.
trick them out.
Oh,
You
God.
can do like little toppers on them and
Yeah,
like
it's horrible. And I was told that if you go past the wand shop, there's a doorway before the dragon. This makes sense to nerds that have been. And you can go in there and wait in line, and if you get lucky, they will choose one of your kids because it's the wand selection room where the wand selects you.
Ooh.
And if it gets selected, then you could get a free wand.
Nice.
So I was like, girls, you look adorable.
Yeah.
Let's get after this. You know what I mean? So we waited in this long ass line just to get into the room because you can go in the other door and just buy
Yeah.
a wand. But I was like, no, let's do this. Waited through the whole thing, got in there, and finally made it in. We're standing there, and they're like, I see you have already been selected. And there were 2 girls with wands, and they're like doing the whole spiel. And they're like, but I'm feeling really, really strong powers from over here. And they pointed at my girls. And I was like,
nice.
come on, pick one.
No
pick
whammy, no
one.
whammy, no whammy. Stop.
And then they were like, you 2, come here. And I'm like, what
Nice.
is this? And then like they did this whole act with them
Yeah.
where they're trying different wands and like they're bibbity bobbitying things. And then like, oh, that didn't work. Look, everything went crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know what? Our wands are mixed up. And they did this whole show. And I was like, fuck yeah, it was worth
Yeah.
it waiting
Yeah.
all that time. You know what I mean? And then as we're walking out, they're like, and if you girls like those wands, go to the register over there. I was like, you motherfucker.
Oh my God.
I'd been fed some bad information.
Well,
that I-
now you're on the hook.
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause now the girls love their wands.
Yeah.
And these aren't normal wands.
No.
These are fucking
They're not
dragon
entry.
bones.
Yeah, they're
and
not
such.
entry level wands.
These are the ones that were used in the
Yeah.
on
Props.
stage, right?
I got absolutely hoodwinked.
Oh.
But it was, and I waited in this line because I thought this is your chance to at least save
yeah.
some of it. Nope. $125, $130
brutal.
later, my girls have wands, and that didn't stop. The money just kept.
Oh,
flowing.
yeah.
I mean, especially
Yeah.
when we got to Disney, my God, the money
Yeah.
came out.
My girls were really into the. They did the princess dinners and things like that when we were in Magic Kingdom. Went through the castles. That was kind of their thing.
We did all
That was a little while back ago, but yeah.
I
So-
did some of that because there's Simpsons Land in
Yeah,
Universal.
so
Saw that.
I've never been to Universal, and you sent some pics and videos that I just thought were cool because, and last time I was at Disney, or first time with my kids 2 years ago, Star Wars went there. So you went to
That's at Disney. Yeah.
yeah. So you went to Moe's Tavern. You went to
Hell yeah.
was Duff's the same thing? Was that the same place?
Yeah, you went in Moe's and got the Duffs.
Duffs,
Okay.
Like, that was fantastic.
That looked awesome. And then you went to the Star Wars Cantina, which looked amazing.
Star Wars Cantina was dope. Oga's Cantina from the original Star Wars. They have that set up there, and it's impossible to get into. You have to, like,
How'd you get in?
You need reservations.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
you got to get
And
a
I didn't know,
reservation.
so, like, I stood in this long-ass line, and this dude comes up, and he's like, and what time is your reservation for? And I'm like, yo, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he's like, sorry, we're sold out for the day. And I was like, motherfucker. So the rest of the day, I kept going to the Disney app and just hitting all different reservation
Yeah.
times. Because he's like,
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes people cancel. And lo and behold, I
Boom.
scored a reservation for later that day. At the same time, I was supposed to be at Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
Yeah, but
with
that's
my
probably
Fast
cooler.
Pass. So I went and did Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular till the halfway point, and I was like, all right, girls, get up. Like, so all of a sudden, 4 people get up and leave in the middle of the
Yeah.
Stunt Spectacular. They're like, where are these schmucks going? The big finale's coming. I'm like, yeah, it is. We're going to Oga's.
We know the boulder rolls down.
Yeah. So Oga's
The plane
was cool,
blows up.
man.
We get it.
They had like a droid playing all the music, and
That's
everyone's
cool.
dressed up and going nuts. That was a lot of fun, man. And that was like one of the last moments of joy.
What was your favorite ride between
Uh,
Universal and Disney?
At Universal, it was the new Harry Potter ride, the Dragon or something.
Do you have to like Harry Potter to like Harry
No.
Potter World?
No, it was fantastic. In fact, the Simpsons ride was my second favorite ride. I thought it was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
but you like the Simpsons.
Yeah, but it was something. Yeah, that's actually right there. That's it. The Journey Islands of Adventure or whatever. It was fantastic. But then the Simpsons ride is one of those like, you know, rides where you go up in the seat and it just moves you around,
Uh-huh.
and, like the whole experience.
4D.
But
Yeah.
it's you don't have to wear glasses because it's a cartoon. So the way they did it, you really
Yeah.
feel like you're on the roller coaster and doing crazy stuff. I had a blast with that.
So, question for you: the beer prices
Like
in Duff's or for a Duff beer
I think it was like $10,
for
15 if you wanted the plastic cup, which I did.
Yes.
Of course, I'm taking the
Take
tough
my
cup.
money.
Yeah, exactly. So that was dope. But then when we got to Disney, I mean, that flight of Avatar thing,
Oh.
come on. Unstoppable.
I try to explain
Nice.
to people, and I'm like, whatever the coolest ride you've ever been on, this is 100 times better than that.
I was very proud. My youngest daughter actually went on like the rock and roller coaster.
That's
which is
cool.
Like loops and twisty corkscrew loops. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's an intense ride.
We got my youngest to ride. She rode first seat in Space Mountain,
Woo, balls to the wall.
and she was scared shitless. We got off the ride, and she's like, "Let's do it again."
That's the best. That's all you hope for. That's all you hope for. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. But I did have a moment of sobering reality in Disney. We had left Epcot one night. And keep in mind, this is back when coronavirus was a foreign threat and not
Yeah.
just something that everybody has. And give it time.
Why not?
I'm one of like you know which side of the fence I'm on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
We'll
panicked.
get there.
Oh,
So we're leaving Epcot and we're on the outside of the gates. We're about to get on the Skyliner, which is this new gondola system that no one will ever ride again. So I'm glad I got to enjoy it. And
to go
Oh, yeah,
across
it's
the
new,
go
right?
across the
You go park to park.
yeah, it goes to 3 different resorts
yeah.
Yeah.
and can go to Hollywood and Animal Kingdom, which are my
Yeah.
2 favorite anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. Monorail's outdated.
And it goes to Epcot. And
Yeah.
It goes to Epcot. No, I'm sorry. It goes to Epcot and it doesn't go to Animal Kingdom. It goes to Hollywood and Epcot.
Yeah.
Which I was like, hey, honey, we should stay there because Epcot has the best food. So every night we could just hop over there.
Yeah.
Because we had park hopper passes. Go over there, eat, drink, have fun, watch the awesome fireworks, and hop back. So we ended up taking advantage of that a couple times. But we left. We were about to get on there, and I was like, hey, girls, I got to go to the bathroom. Now, at this point, every time we get on a ride, every time we get off a ride, we're hand sanitizing, we're wiping things down. I mean, we're already kind of in panic mode.
Yeah.
So I've already been in panic mode 1 week longer than everybody else because I'm
In the middle of a crowd.
I'm a hypochondriac.
Yeah.
Like, I
And
don't
you're
like-
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for those that don't know me,
Ding.
Yeah.
I'm scared. It doesn't matter of what. I'm just nervous about everything.
Yeah.
So
It's a treat to be around.
it's a lot of fun to be.
Yeah.
And
Full
trust me.
on.
Yeah. They're like, why is your beard so gray? Because I'm freaked out. So I'm in this bathroom. I'm all alone. And I come walking out. There's a long hallway to get in it. It's a long, narrow hallway. And this Asian guy comes around the corner, and he's wearing, like, shoes that I don't know the brand, a shirt that I don't know the brand.
Yeah.
So, like, immediately I'm, like, off the boat.
Yeah.
And he starts hacking I mean, like violently hacking, and starts kind of like running down the hall towards me. And I'm like, this is a fucking horror movie to me right now. And he's just coming at me, and I can't do anything. Like, even if I turned around and ran back, he still would catch me.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, shit. And I just took a deep breath and held my breath and kind of walked past him as quick as I could while he coughed all over me.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And I was like, motherfucker. And I walked out, and I was like, girls, hand sanitizer? They hit me with the hand sanitizer, and I just rubbed it on my face.
All over your face.
My beard. I mean, they're like, what the hell was that? And I turned to my wife, and I was like, honey, 10 o'clock, Wednesday, Epcot. That's when I got corona.
I shouldn't laugh, but
at the time, that was the only source of danger, right?
Yeah.
Was foreigners. By the time we get back, clearly we've had this in our midst for quite a while, and we just are suckers. So
yeah.
I was scared, but then I have counted out the days. I'm clear from that. Now if I get it, it was from somewhere else. Some other potential place. So, and we're all going to get it. So
There's that.
It freaked me out, though, because that whole night I was, like, nervous. I was like,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the guy runs up to you and goes, I like the ITPH logo you're wearing.
that would have been fantastic. I'd have given anything for somebody to be like, are you Brendan from Inside the
That would have
Powerhouse?
been awesome.
I am. Why do you ask?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Boo Boo.
Because you're the only left. We'll talk about him, too. So, yeah, we got back and then came back, and it was right after that the world started melting down.
Yeah.
I mean, so while we were there, that same day that I got coughed on, my company canceled their national sales meeting.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason you planned your trip, right?
I planned the whole trip around it because I was already going to be in Orlando. I saved the money.
Yeah.
So they canceled it due to coronavirus. They didn't want to be in Orlando.
Yeah.
Strangely, I was actually our last night there. I was talking to the waiter at dinner, and we were just talking about all kinds of stuff. And I was like, yeah, funny thing is I'm supposed to actually be here through Wednesday, but now I'm flying out in the morning with them. My company was able to help me out. I was like, we were having our national sales meeting, but they canceled. And he goes, oh, you guys were staying at the Swan Hotel. I was like,
How'd you know?
yes.
Yeah.
I did. Like, he goes, yeah, we had 3 major events going on over the next 2 weeks. The place was booked solid for those 2 weeks between the 3 of you guys. And
They all
all of them canceled. And he's like, so everyone's frantically calling us trying to pick up shifts. And he's like, but we don't have any room to get them. So all those people are now out of work for the next 2 weeks.
Oh.
So all the hotel staff, all the wait staff, all that, he's like, they don't have jobs.
Did you give him a tip?
I tipped the shit out of the guy. Actually, yeah.
Good.
If there's ever been a time where my tipping was like, hey, you know what's justified? This tip.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not worried about myself or my family, and I'm not really worried about the health part of it, but I'm worried about the economy. I'm worried about the people who don't have the income and the small businesses. And we have a lot of people we have a lot of friends that run their own businesses, run their own companies.
Penny Lane Pub is a prime
Yeah.
example.
Yep.
They shut down today. Or
Did they really?
They didn't shut down. They're going to take out.
The day
No more
before
dine-in.
St. Patrick's Day, they
Yep.
shut down. I mean, that's heartbreaking.
Yep.
That's heartbreaking.
Festivals canceled. Everything's canceled.
Yeah, so when I got back, it was that Sunday, and that was really when kind of the sobering reality. I mean, my sales meeting had canceled. Other things were canceling. Things were looking rough. And, that Monday I came into work, and we were having our national sales meeting just virtually.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was kind of weird because we were all sitting there around our computers for half the day listening to presentations and doing
It's got
all
to be
this
long.
stuff. It is, but it's actually kind of nice because things move along very quickly when you don't have everyone. I mean, I miss
There's no
seeing
side.
everybody. Yeah.
That happened this morning. We had our staff meeting virtual via Google Hangouts, and it went pretty quickly because nobody's side comments. You can't talk over people. It just was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, this gets done.
So
And
that
I'm
was
glad handing everybody and
that was weird because what happened is we came in Monday and I'm in marketing and advertising dollars started getting pulled and
Yep.
canceled and paused, that morning. So I'm sitting there fielding emails like, oh man, we worked so hard on that deal. That sucks. All right. I get it. Like that's not happening. So you can't do
Yeah.
that. Or, oh yeah, I mean, I understand that. So you're just pausing things. You're watching money come off the books, but at the same time, it's not a total freak out. So then by the end of Tuesday, money had been coming off the books a lot faster than anything else was coming in, right?
Right.
It's like, oh, shit, okay. Money's really starting to come off the books. So now I am starting to get a little nervous because, effectively I'm middle management.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not the big boss, and I'm not someone who controls the bottom line.
Yeah.
I'm the guy right in between who kind of probably does a lot more than a lot of people, but at
You're the
same
one with all
time-
the headaches.
Yeah, yeah. keep it out of the big boss's fucking.
Yeah.
That's
It
middleman.
doesn't get to them until it's an absolute crisis. I'll fix it before then, and I'll do a lot of the work and help out the salespeople below, but technically middle management. So if I'm looking at a ledger sheet, it's like, oh, here's the boss, and here's the fuck this guy. Like I get it. So
Right.
I'm getting nervous. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of money coming off the book. So I stopped sleeping about Tuesday. Broken sleep, not doing well.
That's saying something because you don't sleep usually.
Yeah, but now I'm like up all kinds of hours, So I'm worried about my job. Then Wednesday comes. More money starts coming off the books. I'm still freaked out about my job. And then that is when the NBA canceled.
Yeah.
It was on that Wednesday. And that was a shock to the system.
Yeah, because that was the first one.
Yeah, that was the big one to fall.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I
that's
mean?
one they kept showing over and over.
The
Cuban,
first domino.
of Mark Cuban just going, "Oh, what on my phone? It's
And
done."
Rudy Gobert, oh my God, that was insane.
And it's his fault. I mean, it's not his fault.
If
but
you
I mean-
haven't seen it, you have to Google it. The first dude in the NBA that got confirmed with it during a press conference after a game
2 days before.
2 days before, he jokingly was like, "I'm not worried about it," and touched every microphone and phone that was sitting on the table right, and then walked right out of the press conference, like
thinking
and then-
he's funny.
Yeah, thinking he's funny.
And he was asymptomatic. He wasn't showing any symptoms.
No.
So why did they test him?
Well, that's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
You can go the entire time, not show symptoms, get tested, test positive, and that's it.
Yeah. And that's why I think a shit ton of people have had it. We'll get into that. But I just think that so that was the first domino to fall for me, like
Right,
mentally,
NBA.
where I was like, okay, not only is my career starting to be screwed up, but what's up with this whole illness, right? And so
Now the Bulls have no shot at the title.
actually, the Bulls also didn't hit their over-under, but nobody did. So everyone gets their money back this year. That's a good like the sports books lost their ass, right?
Dude, they're going to continue to, right?
What do you bet on?
Nothing to bet on.
What's the picture of Roy Williams sitting there saying, "See, there's never going to be a tournament that we're not in," because the Tar
my
Heels
God.
didn't make the tournament, and then they canceled the tournament. And there's a picture of him.
Gotta admit, that's pretty funny.
He's like, "You never."
All my UVA fans were loving it because they're like,
Still the champ.
reigning champs.
Well,
Yeah.
FSU was given the championship by the governor of Florida.
Oh, what were they?
Yeah,
Nice.
They were awarded the championship. So I'm going to take that.
Well, didn't the NCAA give back eligibility to those seniors
Yeah, they did.
for another if they want to come back?
So
Which
we're
is
getting ahead of
ridiculous.
ourselves, but after the NBA, then other sports started to fold. They had canceled all the conference tournaments, and they were going to do the NCAA, but without
Yeah.
people,
Without
and then,
people
and then
there.
they finally pulled that, and the NHL,
Then you started seeing,
And
like,
then there was the big one. I mean, the XFL killed the whole season.
yeah,
for a minute there, they were holding on. I was like, look
Yeah.
at these guys. People who go to XFL games, no one cares about them.
Yeah.
Run it, keep them running.
if they could have made it one extra week,
The ratings.
yeah,
Then they could have looked at investors down the road and been like, look at our ratings on week 4. Who has ratings that good on week 4?
So I know it's all relative, but like those XFL guys, they don't have. I mean, well, they probably maybe had day jobs or maybe not, but they were getting a check, and
probably not.
I mean, that's
They were getting paid by the game, too.
right, but they're making
Yeah.
$60,000 a game.
Yeah, it was a bad look. Jobs are going to be.
They got paid for wins, which I always think is cool
Bonuses, yeah.
in sports. Like, give you a little extra.
Yeah, why not? The old
Yeah.
Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Pay him for W.
Will you try to win?
I was going to try to win either way, but now that my dollars are tied
Yeah.
to it, I'm going to take out that dude's knee and
Exactly.
get the W.
So
Exactly.
I'm trying to think right now as it sits. I think the last thing I saw was NASCAR's still running, but they're not having any fans. I'm trying to think what sports are still.
Yeah, which has cost me money because I sell NASCAR tickets. One of my clients.
Oh,
Now there's no tickets to be sold.
And they were already hurting.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
yeah.
So that canceled.
But I'm trying to think of what sports are out there right now.
UFC said they're still going along.
Yeah.
With
which is wild because they're that's the closest proximity you get. I mean, it's like short of porn
sweat and blood all over each other.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So Wednesday night happened. Then Thursday, now it's like my job's falling apart. But now I'm like concerned about the actual virus even more so, right? Because now I'm like, boy, if they're shutting all this down, what do they know that I don't know? Which is still a question.
Was it Wednesday or Thursday the market like really tanked?
That was happening all last week too. Yeah,
the same time frame.
So all of that's going down. It's got me freaked out. So Thursday comes, and I'm like, what don't I know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I'm somebody that, yes, I stress a lot, but I will learn everything about a topic to the point that I can at least have my own theories, and I'm basing it all on facts from different places. Well, Thursday night, I kept digging and digging and digging, and I watched CNN from 7 till just shy of 1 in the morning.
Jesus.
So I've got all this data coming, and Sanjay Gupta talking to me, and the Surgeon General on. I'm learning and learning. But the more I learn, the more I realize.
You know that's fake news.
It's all Trump. Yeah, Trump's gone a full 180.
Well, I joke. It's ironically.
If it bleeds, it leads.
It's trumped up news. It is.
Yes.
Yeah. It is.
But so the more I spent that night going through it, the more I realized you don't know shit. You don't know anything. You can't. There are no numbers because we don't have testing kits. So everybody could be infected. Nobody could be infected. It could be the tens of deaths that they have confirmed.
Yep.
It could be thousands of deaths.
Yeah.
The only number we know for sure is that's how many deaths they have tied to it. It could actually be that small. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or it could be 20 times larger. It could be 2 times larger. I don't know.
Yeah.
That uncertainty started fucking wearing me down Thursday night.
I'm sure.
So I keep looking.
That's why I avoid it.
The fear of the unknown is
The
always.
fear of the unknown gets me far more than the fear of the known.
Well,
if you could tell me 1 million people have it, I'd be like, okay, that means X.
Yeah.
So now I'm dealing with this. But you're like, I don't know. Maybe there's like 10 cases. Oh, my bad. 20. I mean, fuck, 40K. 5 shit. 80K. And every time it seems to double. So I'm just like, oh my God. And we don't even have testing kits. Like last week, I remember at one point I was freaking out. I was like, what's going on in Virginia? We had less than 500 kits in the fucking state. My parents have been sick as a dog. Fevers, coughing, both sick as can be. Go to the doctor. Doctor says, have you been out of the country? No. Go home. Do you have the flu? No. You don't have the flu. They've tested them. You don't have the flu. You don't have this. Here's an antibiotic.
That doesn't do
Antibiotics
anything.
fucking worthless against a virus if you have the virus.
Yeah.
So like I've got it close to home already at this point. Like the day we landed from Disney, I called my mom and she's like, hello. I was like, whoa, what's going on? It was her birthday. I'm like, oh, happy birthday to my wife. She's had a rough day today. She works in a hospital. Happy birthday, honey. I love you.
I'm sure she'll hear this.
Happy birthday.
She won't, but
Happy birthday.
but I do love her, and I feel very bad for her that she had such a rough day. So, but so like my parents are a prime example. You know, young Jimmy was sitting at home with the flu, and it's going through his house, and he's like, yeah, sick as a dog, but we're not testing positive for the flu. Lord only knows.
Yeah.
You can have it. I mean, I talk to all these people. So again, it's the unknown. It's killing me. The unknown. The known could kill me too. So Thursday night, I stay up all fucking night, racking my brain, like trying to figure this all out, right? So I don't get any sleep.
No B movies, just watching CNN.
No, just watching fucking Contagion, but on CNN. And so I'm just freaking out, right? And I stay up. Then I have this like broken sleep where I'm waking up every 30 minutes, like, oh fuck, oh shit, what's going on? Finally, it's like 7 a.m. I can't even do it anymore. I'm like, you're up. You fucked up. You're up. You didn't get any sleep. Go about your day. I lost $500,000, not stock market, like accounts on Friday. It was literally like the stock market in my inbox. It was one email after another. Major account, major account, major account. All day long, all I did was process pauses and cancellations.
And the sad part of it is that you know this as well as I do. The companies that can advertise during a downturn come out better on the
Yeah.
back end when it comes up. So
But everybody's
nobody-
panicked.
Oh yeah, it's the first thing to get cut.
I didn't
but-
realize this, but the vast majority of my clients are tourism. I had never noticed it because it's not a metric you look at.
Yeah.
Then I was like, yeah, that explains it.
Yeah.
That explains it. And that spiral has continued every day. But it continued all day today. It was just cancellation. But Friday.
What's it going to look like in your media, in TV, in the internet?
It's just going to be Charmin.
I was going to say, is it just going to be like,
There's got to be everything.
is the cable going to turn off at night now? Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Are we gonna have fuzz?
Yeah,
like we
no,
used to
is
at
the
midnight?
American flag going to come back up and like, because there's just, if there's not going to be any commercials, if there's not going to be any ads, like,
Imagine like sports,
The
ESPN
sport revenue.
reps.
Yeah,
yeah,
Good luck selling that
I mean they are
shit.
going to go back forward. They are moving forward with a live draft for the NFL. Yeah, I heard they're still going to do
ESPN
draft, I
might
think.
fold up. I mean,
a Disney
well,
property.
if I mean, thankfully they have that money behind them, but like,
no.
how are you going to go months without sports?
I mean, Disney can't fold, right? They're too big. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
Disney can't because like I've been watching this tank, right? Their
Yeah.
stock is through the floor.
Yeah,
And I remember 3 weeks ago
They own everything.
there was a report that Disney, despite being at an all-time high, was undervalued by a lot of pundits'
Mhm.
thoughts. They thought there's actually money to be made here. Get in because they have all this stuff going on.
yeah,
Parks are closed. Movies aren't coming out. Movies aren't being made.
yeah.
Right.
You know, sports are gone. So ESPN is shuttering. Like all this stuff is falling apart.
I mean,
Well-
I wondered if it's going to get to where you have to bail them out like they did Chrysler.
I mean, part of me thinks when it hits the rock bottom, bye.
Yeah.
But could they actually fold? It's something I wonder.
Mm.
But so Friday.
Yeah, so
This is-
Friday.
So that was 24 hours.
So Friday, I lose everything. I haven't slept. I'm freaked out, right? By the end of the day, I can't remember the last time I'd been that rattled. Because, like, I'm of the belief that we should be completely locked down.
Oh, Thursday they also canceled school for Friday for the children here.
Oh, that's right. So my kids were
Right.
home.
Yeah.
So
Friday you're home.
the kids are in the house.
You're trying to work.
I'm losing all my money.
And the teachers are trying to figure out how to teach online.
Worried about my job. I'm worried that we're all going to be sick.
Yeah.
And I've worked myself up into such a lather and haven't slept that by the end of the day, I'm 100% certain we're all doomed. There is no going back. Like I have,
Classic Brendan.
but this is an exacerbated version of me.
Yeah.
Because I'm so sleep deprivation is the enemy of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
That's
you walk that thin line between that on a daily basis.
Yeah, but I tend to sleep in more than most people.
Yeah, you do.
Like I get up at 8. Most people get up at 7 or earlier.
Yeah.
So I was at my wit's end, and we had like a dinner out with friends. That was that night, and I'm like calling guys like, "Hey, we're not really doing this, right?" And all the guys are like, "Of course we're doing it. What are you talking about? Everybody's going to dinner."
yeah.
I'm like, "I don't want to go. I don't really want to go."
Could have not gone.
I
Did
know,
that-
but then I was thinking to myself, "Am I overreacting because I haven't slept and I've worked myself into a lather,
Yeah.
or am I right?" And really, we need to be like not doing this
Yeah,
kind of
because it's
stuff.
a huge group of people.
Yeah, there were 12 of us there. And then
Oh,
I
that's
started-
all? Usually y'all have like 12 or 15 couples, right?
Well, there's a lot of smart people that are like in that group. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't think we should go. My wife's like, look, it's my birthday weekend. I want to go. And I'm like, I really should like
Yeah.
try to like be mindful of
Be
this.
normal.
Dude, the dog wouldn't come when I called. I about killed the dog at one point. I'm talking to the girls, and you know how like you have that little thing in your brain that's like, don't say that, say this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking those thoughts, and
Nope.
my mouth's going, fuck that, here's what's coming out. It's
Yeah.
doom and gloom. And
No
I'm like,
no filter.
No filter. I'm in such a bad mood. I'm quoting stats and what we don't know. And
Oh
they're
my
like,
God.
they're like, I'm 9. And I'm like, well, now you're 40.
Can we go back to Disney?
Time to grow up.
Like, I was a miserable cunt of a human. I'm fully aware of that. And my wife's like, I don't even want to be around you. Like,
put that in your kid's head?
dude, I was,
I'm over here telling my two boys, like, you guys don't have anything to worry about. Everything's going to be fine.
Rub a little,
It's
put a
chill.
little Windex on it.
We're
We'll
I
be good
woke
to go.
up and they were fighting. they're screaming at each other, and I was like, hey, go do this, and they're screaming and they're fighting, and I was like, now is not the time for you to be at each other's throats. This is a crisis. This is how you act in a crisis. And they're like,
Whoa.
what the fuck, Dad?
They're like, we're just feeding off you.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So by the time, so I'm out at dinner and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be around anybody. Like I was in
High fives and all.
Dude, everyone who tries to shake my hand bugs the piss out of me because I still believe we shouldn't be doing those kind of things. Like I'm like, just stop.
Yeah.
Like just elbow bump me and move on. Like we don't need to be fucking each other.
Some mild docking.
Mild docking. Come on, no one ever got coronavirus from docking. Let's be honest.
Mild.
It's a respiratory problem. Unless you
Yes.
just got blown with someone with corona,
Yeah.
you're not going to give.
Don't cough on me while I'm docking.
Yes, clearly. So I was like, by the time we got home from dinner, my wife's like, you have lost your fucking mind.
Done.
And I'm like, honey, I'm 100% aware that I've lost my mind. I'm having a hard time processing how to stop
Yeah.
because I keep hearing the angel saying, don't say it. And then it's coming out of my mouth.
You have fallen down that really steep hill, and you're aware that you're rolling out of control, but
yeah.
running it back is not really
Yeah,
an
I just
option.
couldn't do. I was frazzled. So
But the majority of that is lack of sleep.
I know what it was. Yeah, it was the pressures of your job's fucked, the economy's fucked. You may not have a job,
But you can handle that if
There's
you're sleeping.
yeah. And then there's this. Then
Maybe.
there's this horrible illness, right? And it's coming, and we don't have any answers for it. And by the time it was all said and done, I was on the verge. I was losing it. And I told my wife, I was like, look, I'm aware. I need sleep. I mean, I haven't slept all week. I need sleep. I was like, so I got home. I drank 4 beers. And then I went up to bed, and I was out.
Passed
I
out.
woke up at 8 with that familiar, like, oh, here it is. You're not sleeping anymore. And then as I was sitting there, like, thinking, all of a sudden I looked down, and it was 11, like, 15. I was like, yes, you did
Your
it.
body
You're
finally
out.
tapped you out.
And then I woke up, and I was like, I'd come to my senses. I'm still of the belief that we have a serious problem on our hands. I'm still of the belief that my job's in jeopardy, but I'm a good soul. I can have a conversation with the child, like I recognize my deficiencies. And so I'm
You were going to right all your wrongs from here on out.
Yeah.
look, but I still am of the belief that this is a real problem.
So, kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, because my kids are a little older, my oldest today, and having a conversation with her, she said, yeah, I don't get to do much. I can't go anywhere. My friends aren't going to hang out. I can't go see my boyfriend. And then it hit her like a ton of bricks. It dawned on her what was actually happening or what it meant, what was going on. She started crying. I was like, and I had to like console her. I was like, look, you can't stress out over the things you can't control. Only do what you want to do.
But she's crying over the loss of her social life, essentially, as a teenager.
No. She got past that. She just
Okay.
it like a light bulb went off.
Oh, the severity, the gravity of this situation.
Right, because when her mom grabs her and my other daughter, and they go out to the grocery store, and she saw. Now, granted, this is what everybody's talking about, but she actually saw the empty aisles.
Yeah.
And then you know, unfortunately, she's a teenager. She's old enough to recognize and see things, but she's still young enough to like not need to be stressing over that. Let the parents take care of it. But yeah, I was like, it'll be okay. I had to.
I would assume. Well, maybe it's just because she actually saw. But I would think the youth of today would be like, "That's cool. I can FaceTime and text and."
I think they're
Snapchat.
uniquely suited to such a thing.
True, but I would say it's a little bit younger on that age because her friend, her peer group. Everybody just got their license.
Yeah.
Everybody's out and about. We're going to the football game, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, my youngest and probably your boys.
Yeah.
FaceTime live or whatever.
In my world, we're throwing the middle finger up. We're playing outside and hanging with the neighbors all day, every day.
So you're one of those. You're like,
yeah.
look, you got to live your life.
I can't sit in my house and not interact with my neighbors. My neighbors are awesome. All their kids are awesome.
Sure.
It's the only thing that's going to keep me sane throughout this time. If
Well,
I had to quarantine, if I had to stay in my house, I don't know how to do it, honestly.
The neighborhood out my girls are in, they said the same thing. They kind of threw a little bit up and said, okay, we're going to do this new game for the kids. We're going to put we're going to select certain houses in the neighborhood to put a little shamrock in the window. And then everybody goes out and spends hours outside trying to hunt down the 5 or 6 out of 400 houses that have the shamrock. And,
I kind of like that. That's a good. That's healthy.
I think kids playing outside is always good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
Especially if you know the people. They're not going in the large groups and interacting anymore. So you shouldn't be passing anything around.
Well, you're going to pass it around your small crew.
No, the big thing is
someone has it.
Yeah, you'll pass it around your small crew.
Yeah.
And get them infected. I mean, it's real. Look, it's bad. But see, I'm of the belief that let's lock it down. Like, even though that is going to be to the detriment of my career and the economy, which sucks.
And your mental health.
But that's the other side of it, right? Like, if you are locked up and you can't communicate with people, the odds of depression creeping in on so many people. There's so many people who are already just hanging on by a thread with mental illness. And their outlet is their friends and in these interactions that keep them feeling sane.
I mean, why do you think you see the same 4 old guys every Tuesday at a McDonald's reading the paper, hanging out, having coffee?
Yeah, when their wives have passed
day.
or whatever.
Or every day, whatever.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's that hour keeps them sane and gives them purpose.
I was telling my wife, like, we've been stressed out the past few weeks before all this as we gear up to multiple sports at the same time.
Sweet reprise.
Well, so we've been stressing out, but I told her, I said, we were stressing out over this, but not having this is going to be more stressful.
Yeah, it's catch-22, isn't it? Yeah, this is.
I mean, it was weird this weekend, like not having any sports on the books, anything to go do. We had nothing booked, which I mean, we're gonna get handy around the house. We got some projects lined up.
So would you say are people more afraid of the spread or more afraid of the sickness?
Well, the spread has to happen if you listen to a lot of the experts.
I know that.
Assuming the coronavirus doesn't get knocked down by weather, which is a theory, but not necessarily.
Which kind of weather? Is it hot or cold that kills it?
Warm weather, they say, but nobody knows that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. There's coronaviruses, because this is what, 19? COVID-19?
Yeah, there's tons of human coronaviruses.
There's coronaviruses that spread rampantly in Africa that have no ill effect in the heat.
Yeah.
So if this is of that nature, then that theory can go out the window. Again, we don't know. Only time will tell. But if you're going to say, all viruses diminish in the warmth, then you're not really looking at the facts. There are some that do just fine in the warmth. So that's not a guarantee, right? We can't bank on that. That's for sure.
So you and your family are going to be locked up in your house for as long as it takes?
I don't know that we're going to be completely locked up, but I mean, I do believe that this whole social distancing thing, all that's going to do is flatten the curve, though, because I'm of the belief that the only way that you end up defeating something like this is when you get kind of herd immunity.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the beauty of like the flu shot and all those things, because you're constantly developing these immunities to various flu viruses. And then there's a whole bunch of people who aren't going to get it because they did get the right flu shot, and it helps the greater good. It's not just helping yourself. And until we get to that tipping point of 50% of the population being immune to it, then you can't really get to a point where it's not spread at a ridiculous rate. It should transmit very quickly if it is as contagious as they say it is. It should transmit very quickly until we get to that 50% and go over the tipping point, at which point it will start to scale back. Because if everybody's immune to it, say everybody gets it, well, then it's gone. It's fucked.
Yeah.
So,
which is the worst case scenario, right? Because that means a lot of people got really, really sick.
Yeah, it's so from just common sense and talking to everybody and everybody putting their 2 cents in. The amount of people that are actually going to get sick and need help is still a small number.
Sure.
But, I mean, when it's all said and done, it's going to be a small number. But we can't, because of the spread of how fast it spreads, we can't take in everybody at the exact same time.
And that's
that small number.
That's precisely why they want
to flatten
this
the curve.
Distancing. Because flattening the curve has nothing to do with not getting as many people sick. We're actually we've actually resigned ourselves to the fact that whatever percentage of the population is going to get sick is going to happen. We just can't have it all happen tomorrow.
Right.
Because then you get Italy, and Italy's numbers are completely fucked. Completely fucked. If you look at their numbers in a vacuum, which you shouldn't, because that's ridiculous.
You can't breathe.
But it's as of last weekend, these numbers will be completely outdated by the time this comes out, because that's the nature of this fucking thing. At one point, they had 15,000.
The way we do podcasts?
Yeah. they had 15,000. Thank you for that, John. They had 15,000 confirmed cases and 1,000 deaths. That's 1 in every 15. That is ridiculously high. Now you get something like South Korea, who tests the vast majority of people, and it really shows the death percentage as around 0.6.
Right.
Far better than what Italy's dealing with. I mean, that's a ridiculous number, but you can't look at it in a vacuum because they don't have tests,
right?
You know.
But the last thing I saw,
they have an aging
you
population.
need to pump the brakes, dude. You are off
I
the
know,
reservation,
I know
dude. You
far
are way off the rails because you were sweating things that you have no control over,
right?
And I'm sweating things that I don't even know, though.
Exactly,
that's the thing. The numbers are bullshit,
and it'll probably you'll stroke out. And the
Friday.
coronavirus won't even be an issue.
Brendan Friday.
Remember Brendan died in early April of 2020?
He thought about it.
He had the coronavirus? No. Stroked himself right the fuck out.
I was a victim of the coronavirus pandemic.
His last words would be like, count it on the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Don't let me die in
They
vain.
should have tested me.
I think the last time I saw is if you actually extrapolate where things are going, 1 out of every 1,000 people in the U.S. will be positive.
I think they're saying that it could be,
but
I don't believe this number.
But let's get Brendan to bet on this.
So what
That's
I'm
how
saying
we
is,
fix
so
all
just think
this.
about that.
You know what? I'll bet on the 70 and save us all.
So that's
Save us all.
yeah. I mean, it's yeah. Who
In
knows?
fact, everyone out there should take my getting worked up about this as a harbinger of good tidings. you know?
Yeah.
Because I am the worst at predicting shit, and I'm over here thinking it's worst case.
This is
So how was your Saturday?
yeah.
good. Because I slept. I actually
And
feel,
then what'd you do?
well, I
He
feel
woke
very-
up and 50 minutes later, where were you?
Fine Creek Brewery.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then where were you later that night?
Here.
With 20 of your closest friends.
Which is far too many people to have in a place. Yeah, I promise you, I woke up Sunday like, that was a mistake. But I was like, but I had a ton of fun.
We only
So
shook
would
hands
that
like 14
explain?
times.
Would that explain why when we showed up, this place was pristine, clean? You came out here and just went crazy.
Yeah, today when we got here tonight, you totally cleaned this place.
There's not a surface in here that wasn't Lysol. You notice I'm touching the bar, right?
Yeah.
It's because I know that the last thing to touch this was a fuck ton of Lysol. And then scrubbed.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Lick it.
Fuck you. This ain't no TikTok Corona challenge. dude.
TikTok Corona.
Fuck that
Go for
noise.
it.
Have you seen that shit? The TikTok Corona
Chick
challenge?
licking the
Chicks
toilet?
are licking toilets and shit? Come on. It's a respiratory illness. You can only get it if some other schmuck licked the toilet. Like an
Or
ass.
coughed on it.
Nobody
Yeah.
got it from an ass.
That's what I'm always saying.
And if you did that fart before we started tonight,
We'd
would
all
have
have
killed
it.
you all because I still have residue. It's a
Well,
long-
there is a GI tract side associated with the coronavirus.
So fuck
Well, that's
off.
what everyone thinks with all the toilet paper hoarding. Jesus.
Okay, can we take a break? Can we take a break
Please.
for 1 second?
What do you got?
Everybody's probably, if anyone's still listening,
Can we have a deli?
he's not here. R.I.P.
Does everyone like it? Can we have a deli
Crickets.
this week? This week,
This.
in the middle of the madness, the crazy
This
madness.
is huge news for our podcast.
That was this week. I went out to lunch on Wednesday, and I went out to lunch.
What are you doing?
What?
I went out to lunch for 1 hour. I left the house 1
Yeah.
hour because I actually had a couple things to do and come back. In that hour, when I came back, there was a 6-pack on my doorstep. Oh, that's from Italy. Don't use that. God,
This is
don't even have
Kona on the side of it.
You don't even have to open it up.
that's a place in Italy too. It's a double whammy. In the hour I was gone on Wednesday, I came back. There was a 6-pack sitting on my front step. Just sitting
Nice.
there. In it was a postcard.
Is this said 6-pack?
This is. There is a postcard from the Francis Marion Hotel in Charleston, South Carolina.
Beautiful city.
It is signed, Boo Boo is thinking of you. Cheers. Signed, BB Mysterio.
And beautiful handwriting.
That looks like this person has written BB Mysterio their
Yeah.
entire life.
Yeah, it looks like there's signature.
So there was a gardener next door
Uh-oh.
during that time.
Interesting.
So I go next door to the gardener, and I keep 8 feet from her.
It's 6 to 10.
And I say to her, "Excuse me, ma'am,
See?
did you happen to see a car stop by my house?"
See?
No. She said, "Huh. You know, I guess I did." I was like, "And said car would look like what?" She said, "A black SUV."
Ooh, murdered out.
And I said, "Did you happen to get a look at the driver?" And she goes, "Could have been a blonde woman. Could have been a guy."
There was
Nailed it.
there was a person behind the wheel.
Thank you so much for your help, Gardner. I thought we had a lead, but I would like to chalk the last moment of sanity before the entire meltdown goes out to Boo Boo Mysterio before the shit really hit the fan.
Wow.
Dropped off a 6-pack of Devil's Backbone Gold Leaf Golden Lager. Strangely, you can find this beer anywhere.
Really?
I feel like this beer is everywhere. You know how many times I've tried this beer in my life?
None.
Never.
I've never tried it either.
I can't remember, and I don't want to get ahead of it, but go ahead.
I haven't had it. I'm going to try it right now. You talk.
It's actually
it says crisp, clean, and bready notes.
Yep.
It is a 4.5%, 21 IBUs, color gold, 12 fluid ounces. What's it say? 4 medals? What's it say there, Stu? Great American Beer Festival. 4 something on the
yeah.
side
We
of
got
it.
the. Is that what you just read? The white leaf, lighter side.
This beer is missing one thing. I can tell you right out of the
You
gate.
can read the description if you want, Stu.
You know what this is missing? I can tell you right now.
Sure.
Beechwood aging.
Always Beechwood aging. So yeah, it says while Gold Leaf is is on the lighter side, it takes 5 weeks to perfect this German style lager, a homage to the days when beers were made 100% from malted barley.
Ooh.
Gold Leaf is brewed with 4 European malts tempered with a touch of 3 imported hops.
That's one more malt than hop, people.
Plus, it's got a subtle bready note. And
Hence the extra malt.
Yeah.
And since it's not super hoppy or dark, this beer doesn't hide any flavor inconsistencies. That's just us being honest.
You know what? That's actually pretty fair. You remember
Yeah.
what An told us? The easiest beer to make is an IPA because you can
Yep.
just cover up all the bullshit with hops.
Yeah.
If the beer's not great, just cover it in fucking hops.
And somehow we
love that.
We condition people to like the hops.
Yeah, it's the future.
So,
Yeah.
Brendan, do these hops ring a bell? Northern Brewer says, and
Yeah, the
Texting.
SAAZ, that's like a German hop. That's pretty, but I've never heard of the other two, actually, in my life. Northern Brewer or
Northern Brewer,
Tettnang.
Tettnang.
I don't know.
That's a shot.
But the Saz, or Saz. But this beer's interesting right here. This beer's not trying to be anything.
I like the name of it.
Gold Leaf. Gold Leaf.
Gold leaf, because it's like a play on gold leaves during the autumn,
Fall.
fall, and then like gold leaf is like that.
And Gold Leaf's that paint job you do
Yeah,
on cars.
exactly, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Stu, why don't you go ahead and kick us off there on the
This has been a long time coming. This is
a long time.
Wong from the Wuhan province.
Fucking throw him out. Throw him out.
No, what I'm
Subtle
saying
notes of bat.
brewed distinctly in the laboratory.
Yeah. Is that guano? That's not a good sign.
Yeah, so it's been a while since I've been to Devil's Backbone, since I started on the whole gluten-free thing. And this is actually a really good beer. If I was to sit and drink a
No
bunch,
shit.
yeah,
Nice.
I'm really. Let me take another sip.
That's a real
That's-
endorsement from a
That's what
non-beer
I'm saying.
drinking.
For a beer that is trying to be unabashedly just a beer,
Yeah.
that's all this is trying to be. That's interesting.
But I feel like it's almost like a light beer, but it's got
with flavor.
just enough flavor to it.
Yep.
And so I'm going to ding this at a 4
Whoa.
because I would take this to the next. I'd take this anywhere to the next level if I'm having a beer. It doesn't matter if this is. I don't know. I could drink this if I'm having a fire pit in the dead of winter or if it's on the beach.
This could be. That I'm with Stu here.
What
like,
the fuck?
I know.
A 4 over here and a. I agree with Stu to start your review.
Yeah, like, a lot of beers try to, get, fancy. Like, when you're sipping this beer by the fireplace next to the Christmas tree, it's like, okay, I get it. Like, how about just a good beer I want to drink?
Not to interrupt, but I'm going to interrupt.
Okay.
Is there anything that's complicated about this beer?
No, this
No.
beer.
That's what I'm. Right. There's nothing to Troy's point. Okay.
Wrigley didn't like something that you said.
Yeah. But to your point, like I think there's nothing complicated about it.
I think this beer is amazing.
Whoa,
I really do.
Amazing.
Amazing. I think this beer is delicious. I think, as you pointed out, the one more malt than hop.
It actually works in its favor.
It's like it's a very level beer, not too malty, not too hoppy, but to me, just that one extra malt per the numbers. It has just a little bit more malty taste. It's very, very clean, very crisp. Finish is nice. Good on the front end, good on the back end. I could drink a bunch of these. I would enjoy drinking a bunch of these. Like Stu said, it's like a flavorful light beer. It's 4.5%, so it's not too alcoholic. I easily give this 4, maybe a 4.5. I like this beer.
Fuck. Okay.
All right.
I stand by my very first statement about this beer.
Mr. Brendan.
It's missing beechwood aging.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, please explain.
I do.
Well, you can explain it to us.
You see, we know of no other process of aging that costs as much
Yes.
as beechwood aging.
And therefore makes it the best.
Exactly. It's the Rolex of woods.
Yeah.
This beer right here, it's unabashedly a fucking beer. It's not.
Yeah.
So that's the greatest thing in all of these crazy.
It's not an IPA. It's not a stout.
No.
It's barely a lager.
Not a Pilsner.
It's a lager by definition,
yeah.
but I mean it's a beer. In the same way that Budweiser is a beer.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Bud's got this much flavor.
It certainly does not. It certainly does not. No. This is somehow just doing that shitty golden lager flavor about as well as you can do it.
So before you
It's
get,
really
This should be
interesting.
like the Devil's Backbone beer.
Can-
Like, it should just be beer.
yeah,
That's it. This is beer. This is
Yeah.
American
Beer.
beer.
Yeah.
There is this is what I wish Duff tasted like.
Yeah.
so
Or Coors Light. Like, people go, oh,
This has more
it-
flavor. This is a full
this has
flavor
got a
beer.
flavor.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, people knock all the light beers for
But
missing
Coors
out.
full flavor should taste like this.
Yes.
Budweiser should taste like this. If you put this in American Lager Showdown,
yes.
this will beat them out.
Yeah.
Now, granted, this costs more.
Yeah.
I'm certain of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So one quick thing before you give your score. This ties in to the whole mystery of Boo Boo, and how does he know that we're going to give this thing?
Boo Boo has not missed many beers.
I don't
with
think
us.
he's missed any.
I believe he
Maybe
missed
one.
I believe
Maybe
he
one.
missed one. But every beer that guy or gal has managed to bring,
Who
because now it
knows?
could be a girl
Yeah.
in a black SUV.
With a really pretty cursive
Or that
handwriting.
could have been his mule.
The fact that the dude
'Cause
saw me, the fact that the dude saw me in a
Men's Warehouse.
Men's Warehouse is it's a dude. The fact that the gardener said it was a blonde chick or a dude, it gives me no information. I'm sticking with the Men's Warehouse side of it.
But the car's from Charleston, South Carolina.
And look at this! Look at this hotel. This hotel is like
bougie.
yeah.
That is awesome. I'm telling you, the dude does not work at Men's Warehouse.
Oh, I know that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck. No, and if he does, he owns it. He's like,
He's,
you're gonna
the
like
guy-
the way you look.
What's that dude saying? I'm George such and such. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
This beer right here is a piece of shit.
Oh,
It's
Nice.
fantastic.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying like this category is just beer.
Yeah.
This beer's fucking great.
Yeah. It's
I
an
have a hard
amazing
time
beer.
taking- The problem I have is you gave it a 4. You gave it a 4.5. I feel like I need to ding it
Yeah.
because I can,
But you can't.
and it'll still get the deli. No, I could go 3.5 just to kind of
Middle.
level it out at 4
Yeah.
so that it's not like,
I did say 4 or 4.5.
well, which is yours?
I don't know what I've given them 4.5 to, honestly. But like this is, I mean, to me, a Guinness is 5.
Yeah, so you're really going to go as high as 4.5? Because I can't.
Nah.
I can't do that.
I don't. But then again, I don't know if I've ever gone 4.5. But it's
If you go 4.5, I'm going 3.5. If you go 4, I'm going 4 because this thing's getting.
I'll go
fucking
4.
done. Then it's a 4.
Okay.
Because this is
4
This
across
is-
the board.
I can't say it enough unabashedly.
No.
A beer.
yeah.
There's nothing to this. It's
But this is what a
great.
beer should taste like. This is
An
what all
American-
beer should taste
An
like.
American beer
Yeah.
should taste like this. A pale ale should taste like that. An American lager should taste like that. And I jokingly said the Beechwood aging right away because as soon as I tasted it, I was like, shit.
Yeah.
That's a Budweiser that's done something better.
Yeah.
It can't be the Beechwood aging. I can only imagine what this would taste like had it been Beechwood aged.
It tastes like a Budweiser.
What if it tasted better?
And
Do we know if Beechwood aging makes it better?
It costs more.
Well, things that cost more are better. That's right.
Well, this is a good local Virginia beer.
All right, Boo Boo. Allow me to say thank you.
Yeah, Devil's Backbone is
Virginia.
yeah,
It's
Virginia,
Charlottesville.
Vienna, Virginia, right, or something like that.
It's
No, it's not Charlottesville. It's
technically
further.
it's
Well, yeah, it's
Doesn't
the
it say somewhere on
151
there?
corridor out there in
Yeah. it's 12 and a half.
Nelson
7,
County.
Lexington, Virginia.
Yeah.
So, Boo Boo, good work here, and I'm glad you dropped, just an honest to God generic ass beer.
but he messed up, or who? She, whatever. It should have been a 12-pack.
No shit. Dropped a generic ass beer on me that I've seen in the stores many a times.
You only
never
missed
picked
out.
up, and did so right before the bottom dropped out on the entire universe. How they knew, I don't know. But Boo Boo, you fucked up. I know you're local. 'Cause this wasn't mailed.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I think you got a friend to drop it off.
No. So Boo Boo,
A courier company.
the world's coming to an end, my friend.
This guy's a world traveler. He could have friends all over the place. Maybe he grew up here, but maybe he's in his RV traveling the world, and he said, "Hey, friendo, go buy me a six-pack and take it to this address."
And he's smart because if things are going where they might go, traveling in RVs is the way to go.
Well, it was a good move to drop this off right before the bottom dropped out.
Yeah.
Boo Boo, thank you.
Thank you, Boo
You've
Boo.
always been a good
We
friend of the show.
mentioned we missed you, and you came through.
Dude's good. So Boo Boo,
Or girl. I don't want.
I think though here's the because I don't know where Boo Boo's been.
Troy's hand sanitizing.
We're
after
all
drinking
hand
the beer.
sanitizing.
I'm only hand sanitizing because he has a 1-gallon jug sitting in front of me for 2 hours. I'm like,
As well,
I've got to touch it at some
That's
point.
all he's got.
That is all I've got.
To
No.
last.
I've got 2 portables that I've been taking around. But if the quarantine comes down, but Boo Boo, I do want to say, we're all about to be locked in our houses for quite a long time, potentially. We're not going to see anybody in a while.
I'm coming over here.
Can next time we do this? I think it's time.
To me, Boo Boo?
Yeah, now that everything has gone to shit, I know I've always said I like the mystery of it.
Yeah.
But don't you kind of want to know? Now that the world's coming to an end and you may not get a
I
chance.
want to know
You
as
still
much
like the
as I
mystery.
don't like knowing. I
Yeah.
do.
I think he should continue doing
the
what he's doing to
mystery-
stay there because this is. It's
The mystery of
one,
Boo
it's-
Boo is way bigger in my head than.
Yeah.
It's like meet your heroes, right? That's what they always say.
No,
You
it's
don't
meeting a dude that knows your address. In some respects, like
maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Oops.
I'm blowing Boo Boo Mysterio up like
yeah.
you're blowing this whole thing up.
It's either mysterious or it's just stalking.
yeah, it's gonna be like somebody I fucking know and be like, oh, biscuits,
Or it could be stabby.
And the next note is
which
gonna,
would be
the next note from Boo Boo is going to be, well, that was laced with the COVID-19. Enjoy your beer.
No. If there's anything
Oh, now Brendan will not sleep for a
wrong,
week straight.
no. Because if there's anything I know about Boo Boo Mysterio, he would more likely give us the antidote than the fucking disease.
Yeah.
He may have just saved us all. He may have been like,
Possibly.
and you're the new guinea pigs for
Yeah.
the first vaccine.
Yeah. No, I think the mystery is fun. It's good. It's good beer. It makes for good talk, good pod. Just keep it going.
Okay, but here's the reality of what's going on in our world.
But if Mysterio
True.
wants to come in, I'm be more than happy
Well,
to have
yeah.
him or her.
Okay, but the reality is that this podcast may be going through a change this week because we may not be able to do this very much.
Well,
Like,
you
if
can
they
sit in the
quarantine.
house, and Troy and I will be out here.
I'll come over. I'll give
Okay, but I'm
zero
saying
fucks.
if God forbid everything hits the fan, right? And we're on a
Right.
true lockdown, right? Like you're
Right.
seeing in Spain right now. Like you're seeing in Italy. Like what happened in China. The exact opposite of what's happening in Britain, where they're like French kiss everybody and let's see,
Yeah.
let's get that herd immunity up. So if we do end up going into a lockdown for some reason,
Photograph.
we have taken steps. We hope we've ordered some equipment that will allow us to hopefully call in.
But we've
and
been
do
talking
this.
about this for years.
I can't promise it's going to work, but I've
I hope
taken,
it's not coming from China.
I mean-
purchased. I'll tell you, Amazon Prime did. It's going to take 5 days, so Prime is already pushed back because of
Yeah.
No, they've already notified everybody about delays.
So if it comes in and if it works and if we can figure it out, then the show will go on regardless of situation, which would be great because I think in a time like this, I know we don't.
I need
have,
more podcasts in my life.
That's when you need a queen drop.
I know we don't have a shit ton of listeners, but the ones we have are loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo Boo's a perfect example of that. And, you know, I do want to do it for them because if I look back at my
We
life,
don't do it for the money.
there's been 6 years. Are we finishing out the sixth
No,
year?
we're coming up on our 6th.
Okay.
We're finishing our 5th year.
Yeah.
If I look back, I can hear my life
Yeah.
for 6 years.
Five.
And that's crazy, right? 5 years, whatever
Yeah.
the fuck it is. I can hear all of this, and that's wild.
Yeah.
And I do want to document this time. Even if one of us gets sick and we can call it in or quarantined, it would be cool to be able to do that. So I hope this technology works that I got. We'll see. But I also know that, Troy, you and I have talked about potentially calling one more year and
Yeah,
then calling it quits.
Yeah.
And this could just exacerbate that situation,
Yeah,
right?
might
If all
be.
this blows up.
Speed it up.
Because we had talked about the fact that it's hard. Week in and week out, it's a lot. We love doing it, but it can be disheartening sometimes when you watch
Yes.
the numbers go up really high and then the numbers kind of plummet back down
Yeah.
and you're like, what did we do different? Did we change something? Are
Yeah,
we
are we
not going through a
sucking?
different sort? No, it's not. Stu, that's hilarious. Stu raised his hand.
Of course, he does something funny and doesn't say it.
Yeah, he raises his fucking hand. No,
It's
Stu,
an audio medium, Stu. God.
Stu, we don't blame you. You're certainly a
No.
contributor.
Yes.
But no,
I got nothing.
no, but it's like we've been watching this for years. This is something Troy and I have dealt with from year one, before Ely, with Ely,
Before Jason.
before Jason.
Before everyone and anyone who's come through here.
Right, but you guys have already beat all the odds for everybody by just continuing to do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
The most podcasts do 7 episodes. That's the reality.
I mean, if it's
We've
our
done a
3
few
best
more.
friends listening to it and that's it, okay.
but it's a lot of work.
Oh, I know. I
Yeah.
know.
And Brendan does 80% of it, so
And-
it's really
and-
not fair to him.
And the financial outlay, if I really look back over
He
5
does
years,
80% of that.
you know, thousands of dollars have gone down the drain in this. Venmo at Inside the Pallet House.
He's not
so,
joking. Like, it
No,
costs
it's
a
a
lot
fact.
of money.
So there's time, there's money, and it does get tiring. Now, I have a funny feeling that for the next couple months,
We'll have a lot of time.
I'll have nothing but time.
Yeah.
I won't complain. I will
This
be
is-
glad to do
Yeah.
the podcast. But when I'm flying all over the country for work, when I'm doing all these things, and I'm staying up late, and it's 1 a.m. and I'm in a hotel room,
And you're stressing over
And-
getting
and-
it out.
yeah, and I'm doing the, you know, it's a lot. But we do
We've
it.
done it like riding down the road. We were going out of town one time, And Brendan was like, all right, I'm bringing my laptop. You're sitting shotgun, and I'm going to walk you through how to upload this thing.
We literally edited a podcast in a 4Runner going down the road while it was overheating.
Yeah, while
that's literally a
and
fact.
it's hot.
Beautiful.
And we're just like, and he does this every week, and
Yeah.
he buys the beer a lot. And I try to help out, but, Brendan does a lot. And it's a lot on all of us. And, Stu, you're part of that now. So it's a lot on you. You're cutting time out of your work, your family. It's just a lot. And, Brendan and I have been talking about it here there for a while, and we don't want to pick an end date. That's not what we want.
No, because if you just say, hey, guys, this is the last episode, that breaks your heart.
Yeah.
That breaks your heart. But we have had conversations of,
So you want to ease into it instead of rip the Band-Aid?
yeah, we say, hey, it's going to be a year, right?
Yeah.
And pick a day. And our year 6 starts in 2 weeks.
Yeah, April. 1st of April.
So we're there, right? Where there's a natural where you could go all the way out, do another year, and call it. Now, I'm not saying
When we actually first talked about it, we were like, if we do another year, we'll be at year 5, and we will have 5 full years.
could
And
we-
then we realized we'd already done.
Is there
we're done
any-
5
5
years?
Is there any opportunity to do it like your game shows, where we just take one day and record 5 in a row and call it quits for a month and a half?
you and I both know you can do 2 in a day. That third episode
Yeah.
would be a total waste.
It's
A
got to
total
be
waste.
topical, and we've done
No,
back-to-backs, and
Honestly,
Just talking.
as this whole coronavirus thing impacts us, and we do potentially learn how to do call-ins and things like that, that could be fuel to the fire, right?
Yeah.
If all of a sudden it gets easier, where if you say, hey, I can't make it, but I can call in.
Yeah. I don't want this to die because of the coronavirus.
no,
But that's why I'm
no.
bringing it up now, because Troy and I have been talking about this for about 2 months behind the scenes, late at night. Like, maybe we should put a one more year on it and see if we can build it. Try hard, like give it everything we've got.
Yeah, because I'll be 50 and we can stop.
Fair. Fair. So it's something we're talking about. I'm not calling it today.
No.
I'm not saying that's the case. But it is something we've talked about. And as now I'm looking at the face of the world, it just kind of brings it to light. But I'm glad we're going to try the
Yes.
remote thing potentially, this weekend, see if we can do it.
Yeah.
And then if we can do that, then that might ease some of the pressure of doing this, because realistically, if I'm on the road, I could do it from a
Yeah.
hotel room. You know what I mean?
Or if Ely can't make the drive, he could still be here,
Yeah, and we could
We could get guests on.
we
more
could have
guests.
more guests. It could infuse a new bit of life. So
Yeah.
so as we all journey into this fucked up new world,
Where are you calling in from? The small island as a refugee
yeah.
from the coronavirus.
But as we all journey into this new world, we're all going to have to learn to adapt to what is potentially being in your home more,
Yeah.
which means you're going to have to learn to socialize using the internet, which would essentially be what we would be doing. We'd be socializing through a call-in.
It's what we've
And
been doing. I mean, people are inviting us into their ears and into their workspaces and homes via the internet.
Yeah.
But so I would like to encourage people, as we stare into the face of all of this uncertainty and all of this confusion, use it as an opportunity, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance and problem. But it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to try something new that's way outside of your comfort zone, because here's the reality, people. You don't have a choice.
Right.
Well,
But at the same... Oh, go ahead.
and if Boo Boo is any example, like, one thing we appreciate with this podcast, and Brent and I have we've never wanted to make it. We've never wanted to be world famous. We wanted to be.
I want to have people that I interact
Yes,
with.
we wanted to
like.
continue to grow, and we love hearing people listening from around the world, and people do listen from around the world and around the country, and we love that. But that's all fine and good. We want the interactions, and we understand that we could do better with the whole Facebook page and all the social media, and we're trying to do better. But if you interact with us,
Yeah.
then we will interact with you. And the more interaction we have, the more enjoyable all this is. I've been jokingly busting everybody's chops about the ratings. Like, that makes our day. We don't get paid, So
We
you
get
do-
paid in things like Boo Boo dropping off a six-pack.
or a good rating, or a Facebook post on our Facebook page
Right.
that we're trying
when
to
guys
build.
come over and help us do a challenge.
Yes.
Or guys want to get involved with, like the holiday drink challenge and all these kind of things.
And
like,
M4K, all those guys and
those
people we met
guys
through there.
embrace us
Yeah.
and they love us and they talk to us about episodes and they laugh. And those kind of conversations when you're out and about and somebody says, oh, my God, the Williamsburg Bear makes me laugh every time. And it's like, I'm glad I brought you some joy with that because it's a lot of work.
Oh, every now and
Right.
then I get a text from a buddy. I got one a couple weeks ago from my buddy Adam, and he was like, "Oh man, I was crying when you guys said this," and I'm like, "That's what it's about, right there." Like,
Yeah, because honestly, if I never make $1 and I keep spending money and I keep putting time in, but you see that kind of interaction and that kind of growth, that makes you really, really happy.
we're like throwing a ball. We're throwing a baseball against a wet blanket. We want to throw a baseball against a bounce back. We want the back and forth. We want the interaction.
The analogy's trash, but I'm with you.
That's a great.
No, but I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You want it to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. And we've discussed it, and maybe it's the emotional nature of the time we're in that's bringing up this conversation, but
We've been talking.
we've talked about
this,
it a
yeah.
lot. Stu, this is probably news to you. I don't know that we've talked about it to you.
No, I don't
specifically.
count. That's okay.
Oh, you do.
I'm just joking.
But I mean, like,
I'm joking. No,
Ely
you guys
hasn't-
have way more invested in this than I do.
No, Ely
And
hasn't
Ely
heard,
hasn't heard
yeah.
this conversation. You
And he
haven't
probably
heard this
won't because he won't
conversation.
listen.
Literally, there's only one person.
Shit.
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
There's only one person that's actually heard this conversation, and that's Jason Jones, because that dude has been such a P1 for so long.
Yeah.
Right.
He's always been involved, and we've reached
He was
out
a
to him.
fan
And
from the jump, and then he
was a fan before he
on-
was ever on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's still a diehard fan, going back and doing us so many solids and listening.
You know what I like about Jason?
Re-listening.
That dude will call us up and go, that episode sucked.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that episode fucking sucked. You guys got to pull your head out of your ass. We're over here trying to have fun, and you're like talking about this bullshit. Or then he'll call you up and go, hey, man, that episode was fantastic. I like X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of interaction
Yeah,
because
good, bad, or indifferent.
it's just interaction.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm good with negative, feedback as long as you're not just being a fucking troll.
Right.
Like,
Well, we love Fiona Face. I mean,
Fiona Face is the greatest.
She
that
gave us
bitch.
a 1 star, but she was like, "Those guys seem like they're having a great time, though." Like, then you obviously get.
What
You
the
get
point-
it on
what-
some
yeah,
level.
You get the point.
You should have given us a 3 star, but I
know,
mean,
that bitch. Yeah, Stu,
Well-
you gotta do me a favor.
What do you need?
You gotta date Fiona Face and bring her back around.
All right.
You gotta find her.
Is that a challenge?
that is the one bad rating we have of all of our ratings. It would be hilarious if we could like find her and get her to.
$10
upgrade
says
it.
it's Boo Boo Mysterio.
No,
No, it's his wife.
Oh.
She's like, I just don't fucking get it. I gotta listen to this shit in the RV.
Yeah.
It's an absolute pain in my ass.
He's like, we're out here trying to camp, and he's packaging up beers and shipping them across the country. What the hell?
Wasting my time. We're
I
pulling
know.
over. I love it. I love it.
Man.
But that all came out of left field. I don't know what just happened
Yeah.
there, but
I was not expecting you to. We
Talk about
I'm
it.
telling you, I'm frazzled, dude.
you obviously are, because that was not supposed to come out. But
Everything's on my
you're
sleeve.
being
right
real,
now.
yeah.
Everything's on my sleeve because I don't know what's happening in the
I would
world.
just say, with everything that's going on, I would ask people to use common sense to evaluate who you see in front of you and don't freak out.
yes, and take
And you're
advantage.
talking to Brendan.
But take advantage of what is being given to you, which is an
I'm not-
opportunity
I'm
not
to
saying
try
that.
to look. The world is going to be different. It is going to be remembered. If this really is what they think, there's going to be life before and life after. In the same way, 9/11, I look at my life,
But-
I remember that's a distinct moment in time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things changed after that.
I mean, this could be a moment in time, and it may never be. It may be completely different from here on out. To your point, regardless of whether things go back to quote unquote normalcy or go to a new reality, I would just say use common sense, make your own best judgments for yourself, and look at people and understand. Okay, that person is going through their situation, deal with it. You know, everybody's different. Because I'm not going to go down that path with my. I could, but what happened to my dad today was like crazy.
Bring it up, no, because look, the truth is we're all dealing with this shit.
Yeah.
Your dad's dealing with it in a very unique way. For those listeners out there that don't know, Stu's dad is one of the more interesting cases in the world, and I hope that one day we can have him on the podcast after he's done a 14-day quarantine twice. I want him to do it twice. I want a 28-day quarantine out of that guy. But
well, no, once we get the new system set up.
Yeah.
oh, that's true. We can call
Yeah.
him. But that guy has spent time in Asian prisons.
Mm-hmm.
He has lived a life, man, and he has seen some things. Was he in Thailand?
No,
Is that where he was?
He was in he was in Philippines, and then he was in. Unfortunately, due to a crazy circumstance, he was in Stanley Prison, which is top 3 world's worst.
Yeah, that's some locked up abroad shit. That's
Oh, yeah,
people.
yeah.
That's people waking up with cockroaches on them, shooting heroin between their toes.
Well, they don't get that in there, but yeah, they don't get the drugs in there, but yeah, probably.
But
No,
I mean, that's a crazy situation.
Yeah.
I would love to one day have your father on and
Yeah.
hear these stories because he is a victim of circumstance in a lot of ways. Some of it his, some of it not.
Right.
And it's a very interesting situation to say the least. But now he just gets back and what happened today? Run this by me.
So, for everybody, my dad retired and lived in the Philippines for the last 7-8 years. He found a nice little place. He lived on a postcard little island for a little while, and then he got a condo and a nice little place in Dumaguete. Living a dream. You know, beer's 13 cents. Doesn't cost you anything to live over there for an entire year. But he's decided he wants to relocate from the Philippines and move to Mexico. He wants to be a little bit closer to his family and not be so far away. So he found a place, Oaxaca, Mexico.
Did you ever get over there to visit him while he was over there?
Unfortunately, I didn't because as cheap as it is to be in the Philippines, my family would have
Takes
cost me
forever to get there.
$5,000 round trip airfare,
Yeah.
which, you know, is a little steep. But
That's a Disney vacation.
yeah, long story short, he decides to come back home and visit like he does. He lands and he gets out on one of the last few flights out of the Philippines before the Philippines decides to shut down flights because of the coronavirus.
Now, I excuse my ignorance on this, but of all the things I know, because I stopped researching that it was a global like it's not a foreign problem, it's our problem. So I stopped looking into the Philippines. One of those places,
The
like Philippines
Philippines
tier
is
3.
more, from what I understand, it's more. They're kind of the Philippines because of the island chains and stuff. They were more kind of in that scenario we are, but then he had to hop through Korea.
Oh God, don't go there.
So even
Okay.
though he was in the international terminal for less than like 3 hours, he lands
Okay.
in D.C. And then being safe. This was just from last Thursday. You know, family members of mine have issues with immune compromised
Look,
things, anything. But
I got to
anyways,
be honest. Anyone who comes back from anywhere, I'd be like, if
Right.
you could do me 14 days, I would. That's not being
Right.
prejudiced from any one place. I'm like, look, I just don't know. Honestly, I think I should have been quarantined 14 days because of Disney.
right, right. Well, so when you don't know, and you know,
That might as well be overseas.
It basically was. I heard
Yeah.
more languages there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like you're standing in line and you're like, that's French, that's Italian,
Yeah.
that's
I've
Mandarin.
never heard that one.
Yeah, like that one is something different. So
Yeah.
like that's just it really is. It's a melting pot. So I should have been quarantined on some level,
yeah. But so being a good,
which fortunately I have for the most part.
being a good citizen and saying, okay, hey, Dad, love you. Haven't seen you in 4 years, but because of the possible risk and what
Post
everybody's
up.
saying, we're going to put you in 2 weeks an extended stay hotel, and you just do your thing. We'll give you a car, get food, whatever, and you can come and go as you want to. But we're social distancing because of family. We want to make sure that you're good
That's
because you
just-
have a higher risk.
That's just going to be in Webster's next year.
Social
Social
distancing.
distancing.
Yeah. That's the thing. And every fucking gamer was like, you mean Tuesday?
Yeah, you mean
what I'd usually
every
do.
night.
Yeah.
every night. But then him just being a regular person, you know, he's staying at the hotel and he's having a cigarette, talking to somebody, and says, "Yeah, I came from the Philippines and I'm seeing my kids here in a little bit." I'm just hanging out. Didn't say anything else. And they're like, you came from the Philippines? Oh, shit. And they ran to...
They narked him out.
They ran to management and said, this guy came from overseas. And within 3 hours, he got a letter under his door that says, you're on quarantine. You cannot leave your room.
So he's locked down.
Well, so there's a whole other thing. You can't take away somebody's civil liberties to do what they want to do. But because President made federal state of emergency,
Okay.
quote unquote, not really martial law, but said, hey, if you're coming from overseas, you need to self-quarantine. Well, they're saying that you got, so he got this letter that says, you can't leave. You can only have food delivered. We're cutting off your laundry services. If we knock on the door, you have to open it.
Hasn't it been shown that laundry just washing stuff gets rid of the coronavirus?
Yeah, soap, the laundry soap kills it.
yeah. That was one of the things I heard that they were saying. Like, if you wash clothes, you're fine.
But
okay,
it's just
so that doesn't add up. But.
So my dad's been here a week, and he no symptoms, no nothing. Day 10 is like Friday, and
now he's on true lockdown.
well, no, I mean he's just yes, but talking to some attorneys and a few other things, they're like, there's no way that hotel can keep him there and make him not leave.
Well, he should. I want him to stay there.
Well,
I mean,
gotta be
yeah, they
honest.
can't make him, but he should. I mean, he shouldn't have said anything. Oh my god!
right. Well, that's that's
Yeah,
just
what kind of a person just casually having a smoke goes, yeah, I just came from the Philippines. Like, let that shit ride.
anybody who doesn't really care, and he's the 72-year-old smoker who's high demographics to get killed.
Oh, he's literally, if he gets it, I'm not going to say anything.
No,
I'll leave
I'm
it.
just saying.
But you should. But it's a respiratory illness. He's a smoker.
Thanks,
and he's,
Brendan.
he's
Dad
like,
was scheduled for next week's podcast, but he's no longer here.
Well, let's get that. Let's
That's
get
gonna
that
be
call
a
in.
weird remote.
Well, if we could just get the call in set up in the next couple of days, we got a fighting chance.
I mean, but that's where I was coming out. Like, he's gonna stay. He's gonna follow protocol. But that's the biggest question is if he actually left the hotel
What
because of
happens?
the federal emergency, quote unquote. Would the hotel call somebody and say, this guy who was self-quarantining himself, and then we quarantined him on top of that, left to go stay with his family?
My favorite part about the quarantine, they're like, you know how we're going to fix this? You don't get towels, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much. I feel so much better.
that'll help.
That's
I
really,
mean, it's just ridiculous.
really
but
fixed the glitch.
I
Well,
don't
my
know.
thing is what if I want to go during the quarantine? Let's say I want to go down to my lake place just to get away. Am I allowed to drive down there with my family, or is that?
It all depends. By the time this comes out on Thursday, everything we're talking about
Will
could
be different,
so
yeah.
different. I mean, just today, Trump finally did a 180 and said we should really be limiting to 10 people that's a group environment. I've seen it go from 500 to 250 to there was a 150.
There's 100.
in there,
The governor,
something,
the
100
governor put the state at 100.
yeah, for 100. And then today, all of a sudden, Trump now is like 10. 10 people.
Well, that's because I think it was the CDC. They're saying family clustering with somebody who's infected is
They
not.
want it.
They want because what it all hashed out with my dad was he can leave. They can't do anything as long as he goes to stay with family members. He can't leave the hotel to go stay at another hotel.
I don't even understand that. I don't know.
It's crazy.
This is so crazy,
Anyway,
and it's changing. It's literally it's going to be so interesting to watch how far it's come from the day we record this to the day that it comes out, because it really does change. It changes so quickly. Troy, you should grab 2 of those, but don't touch the top. Not that. I want a regular Coors Light. Grab it by the side if you don't mind.
Can you hand me that Italian wine opener?
Yeah, it's just I don't know why you would be using an Italian wine opener. Thank you, my friend.
It's not me you need to worry about that's touched that top.
What?
It's everything in the processing.
Oh, it took Coors Light a long time to get here.
You're good then.
It is crazy, man. The restaurants, they're so screwed.
I went to a restaurant tonight, and it was
Was
dead.
it dead?
It was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole demographic. So
Yeah,
just
I'm worried about those people.
hourly workers, service workers.
That's what's going to kill the economy, right? Because I mean, how many people work in restaurants to support families, and now they're done. They can't work. The kids are home from school. This is crippling.
Daycares have closed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not. I mean, it's I would say less than maybe 20% of families have the ability to be at home with their kids.
I
Oh,
got very
way
fortunate
less.
that I got grounded. They literally
Yeah.
said, you're not allowed to travel anymore, which was my entire livelihood. They said, you're not allowed to travel, which is funny because the day it happened, I was like, yo, can I drive places? Like, can I, I was adamant. Like, no. I've got a job to do. I got to get out there.
Yeah.
Within 2 days of them grounding me, I was like, I'm going nowhere. I don't
Yeah.
even want to go to Sheets because I got to touch a touch screen. I'm in there with Lysol, like, on the sheet screen. Like,
Oh my god!
Well, I mean, yeah.
I
'cause,
wish
mean,
he was here to lay into you.
I wish he was too, but you know what? I've
He's
been
not.
left. I'm fine. Everything's going great.
You're a fucking hippie.
Oh, never mind. He still hates me.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anybody else want to talk on the mic? Get this shit stick out of here.
There we go. There's our guy.
That's him.
Well, I'm hoping next week that we'll be able to get him to dial in at least. That'd be cool. Then I can have hate filtered right into my ears.
Maybe next week we'll all be together again.
There's a lot of potential with this now that a light bulb went off with the whole
finally
remote.
getting it.
Yeah, I could be giving you like live reports from where you want me to be.
Stu, do not volunteer yourself for man in the street duty because I will send you everywhere. Stu, I want you to go interview your dad.
Yeah.
So here's this is what's crazy is like there's a whole article that just came out about the real estate market being affected by the coronavirus and open houses and people who show symptoms not ready to list their house or declining showings and things like that. The other day I had an open house. All the groups, I mean, I still had good traffic, like, I don't know, 10, 12
Yeah,
groups.
but how many days ago?
Yesterday.
Oh, well, shit. Okay.
So we're doing,
Fair.
so
Go
that
on.
would be a Sunday. And everybody's coming in. They're like, we're not going to shake my hand. We're not, maybe it's an elbow bump, maybe a fist bump, but everybody's cognizant of what's going on, but yet all 12 motherfuckers open up the same door.
Yeah.
You see,
And that's why they need you to stay at home.
that's precisely the problem right
Yeah.
there.
Like,
We
we're
aren't-
not going to touch you, but yeah, let's
Yeah, but
just-
somebody has to cough on the door for it to have Brendan's fucking lights on again.
I'm hand sanitizing because my nose itches. I want to scratch it.
Well, I think it can stay. I don't know. Can it
Got
stay
it.
with like on a surface for like a couple days?
Yeah. But there's
Don't know and I don't care.
Yeah, it can. So it can live up to like 3 days on a surface, but there's something called like the transcendental.
Be careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck this up. I'll give you the definition of it.
Talking about trans stuff.
Actually, you're safe with trans because the coronavirus is so confused. So there's like a essentially like a shelf life, right, or like a half life where it's actually contagious. So yes, you could go over to a doorknob and look at it 3-4 days later and go, yes, there's coronavirus on there, but it's like 4 hours that it's like still highly
Yeah.
contagious. So that's why it's so important that restaurants are wiping everything down and all of that. But
I have noticed in all the restaurants I've been to, all the stuff that usually sits on the table is gone. And all the stuff, like I went to a Qdoba this weekend, and like where they have like the napkins and forks and spoons and stuff, that's all. Everything's behind the counter now.
So
Yeah.
there you go. 1 in 1,000.
what's that?
Well, no, never mind. Sorry, or did it wrong.
What are you
My
looking
bad.
at? What are these numbers you're looking at?
This is just the most recent from the World Health Organization as far as confirmed cases, deaths, and countries involved. So there's 148 countries involved in this.
Yeah, but the reality is that there's no, a lot of these places don't have fucking tests. So it's
True.
like you can't look at these numbers. Your best option is Korea because that's where they've been testing the most people. That gives you a fairly accurate. China's the epicenter. That's where it started. So obviously it's higher there. But Italy is a real problem because that really has blown up in a way. It's rampaging Italy in a way that it didn't any of the other places. It's
So
really,
we're moving to Antarctica.
I guess stay cold.
yeah, and so if that's going to be an indicator, now here's your best indicator. Zoom back out for me, Stu. Look at this. Look at Africa.
A lot of small dots there.
Little tiny small dots.
That's because half of it's desert. Nobody lives there.
I was gonna say,
I know, but so that there's your like. Now, granted, a lot of these are like little tiny places that probably aren't testing a lot
are we
of
trying to
things.
move to Wakanda?
No, I'm just saying there's not a lot of
For
testing there, but that would be your indicator if maybe heat, right? Might not, but it's still popping up. all over Africa. Russia, we can't trust the numbers coming out of there, but it's relatively low numbers, and it's a really cold place. So, it could go either way, extreme temperatures. But I got a funny feeling that this thing's not temperature dependent. I don't think it's really going to – I think that is a bit of a fallacy, that particular dream, that we're going to –
But then there's the whole conversation about how soon do they know that this was going to be something that was going to happen? Because
well, if you listen to every doomsday disease person, they've always been saying it's coming.
Yeah, we just have
infectious disease was coming.
Yeah, pandemic will.
How
happen.
happy are the doomsday preppers?
Psyched.
I've been doing this shit for 20 years. It's all paying off now.
I got a buddy who has prepped very, very well for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm certain that he's not happy, but he's like, I'm ready. He can go off and he's got land that has natural spring water bubbling up and like.
Does he have a buried cargo container that he can live in?
He's fine. Yeah, my buddy's fine.
Purchase an old
what
missile,
I'm interested to
silo.
see is the way all these fucking crazies went out after toilet paper.
Yeah, but
which
it's not
is
like electricity and
ridiculous.
water are going to go away.
Mm-mm.
Well, you don't know that, but yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
The infrastructure shouldn't
Yeah.
fold, right? We hope. But if it does, now Troy, you're a gun owner. You're a big gun guy,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I'm not a big gun guy. I'm a gun guy.
You have a concealed
yes,
carry.
Yes.
I've seen you carry oftentimes in public places because
Yes.
you want to be able to defend yourself.
Yes.
You're of that mentality. Can I at least say that? Okay.
Yes.
You've started the podcast by
I've shown you I had a piece, yes.
Have you been stocking up on ammo?
No, I haven't gone out and bought any more.
Okay, so what you've got is
Because
what you got.
I know it's taking a hit right now, so I'm just like, whatever I have is what I have.
The ammo is just like toilet paper.
Yeah.
And people aren't talking about that because I guess that's probably not PC to talk about. But the reality is, ammo's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you go
It's been hurting for a
if
while.
you have a 9mm gun, which is like the most popular gun in
Yeah.
America, that particular size round, you can't find 9mm ammo anywhere. Go to Cabela's, go to Bass Pro, go to Green Top, go to any of the places you would buy. It's gone. It's all gone.
Yep.
Because everybody's been panicking because when you see people
Well, people that do that too, like there's no magic number. Like,
Yeah.
I have 1,000 rounds, I'm good. I have 10,000. I have 100. Like, they don't care. It's like the TP. It's like, how much TP do you really need to last you?
But
you
I think
know?
that's what's up, right? You see people run for TP,
and then you got to
then
buy more.
ammo people run
But
for
my
ammo.
question
Yeah.
for you is, the TP is gone on the aisle, and right there is a full stack of napkins that do the same thing.
But it's going to fuck up your septic, right?
Yeah.
Not really. Not the single like.
You know how many listeners have reached out and been like, Brendan's a genius. And I'd like to say, thank you.
Sarah. Sarah
Because-
hit me up and was like, I remember.
Oh, you see, I haven't even heard this story. Yeah.
I thought I sent you the screenshot. A friend of mine from college, who's a listener, Sarah, she was like, "Hey," she hit me up on Facebook. She was like, "I remember you guys talk about." Yeah, she was like, "I remember you guys talk about bidets. I bet you guys are wishing, you jumped in." I said, "Well, Brendan has one, and I know he's loving it." Like,
yeah. No, dude, as soon as the toilet paper crisis hit, my wife was like, hey, we need to get toilet paper. I'm going to put it on the Kroger list. I go,
for what?
you're putting
Yeah.
toilet paper on a Kroger list? I go, you realize there's no toilet paper. She's like, what are you talking about? Because she works in a hospital, so she's been like laser focused on like, here's the problem at hand. Like I got all this. And I'm like, babe, there's no toilet paper, period. Like anywhere. She's like, no, just pick it up. I was like, good luck.
Yeah.
So I went and like I went out and looked for her. I was like, yeah, baby, this is a fucking mess. So I told her, I was like, look, you're just gonna have to learn to use the bidet. Like I can't. And I went to the girls and I said, hey girls, do you guys know how to use the bidet? They're like, Dad, we use your bidet all the time.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know.
Nice.
I was like, fantastic. Like I'm glad to hear that. Look at this. Bidet sales soar as toilet paper sells out amid coronavirus fears. It makes perfect sense. Bidets are the answer, people. You're putting your hand in your ass, and now you're also stuck chasing all of these
But
lemmings.
that's not where it comes from.
No, but all these lemmings went out and got toilet paper, and you could have been sitting pretty like me on a heated seat with heated
Yep.
water screaming up your butthole, knocking everything out, and then a nice dryer.
Well, that's what I
coming
told
in.
Sarah. I said,
Jeez
if I had
Louise.
power like, I mean, you were renovating. You lucked out because you were renovating your bathroom at the time.
Yeah, and the only renovation that I had any say in.
Yeah.
My wife was like, I want this, I want this. I was like, I want an outlet right there. She's like,
It makes so
why
sense.
would we put an outlet right there? I was like,
34 million
Girl.
rolls of toilet paper used by Americans yearly, and yet you can go to eBay and get a bidet for $79 to $109 spa version.
or you could spend $500, you get a heated
Yeah.
seat and heated water.
Yeah.
in
The
your butthole.
kicker is about them. No one tells you, and it makes sense. If you don't have a heated one, you're kind of. I mean,
It's just
sucks.
not as pleasant of an experience.
Yeah, who wants cold water shooting up
And
their
you
butt?
want a tankless water heater, people.
True.
Don't get it twisted. You want to have a low profile so it looks good. But man, bidets are awesome.
Look at this, the portable personal handheld
I'm
bidet.
not sticking my hand. You see, that defeats the purpose.
What the
I
hell
see
is that
these.
thing?
I see these portable bidets, and it's a little handheld like water gun that you stick up under your butthole and you spray all over. Oh,
As
that's
it
gonna
rains
get
down on
yeah
your
on your
hand?
hand.
Yeah.
I do not understand people who use this stuff. Get yourself a bidet seat with a tankless water heater. And come on over to the light side. You're over there fucking hanging out
clean
with Darth
side.
Maul and his pink eyes. You fucking come to the light side, people. It's ridiculous.
Man. Well, yeah, I'll go get
I
a
might
bid-
actually
I might
get
just-
one of the cheap $100 ones just to have.
It's good to have. And
Yeah.
once you use it, even with cold water, you're going to be like, that is
Yeah.
all right. But
so
once
you're
you
saying
get,
I need a garden hose and a
no, what you need is a
Actually
heated
saw-
seat and a tankless water heater.
I actually saw a funny version of it where someone had literally bought a Y splitter and where the water connects. Then they had a short little hose and a little sink squirter on it, and it was hanging on the side of the toilet tank. Because that's all you need.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys realize we've been talking for an hour and 41 minutes?
yeah. Well,
We should shut this down.
We should.
Parting words? Anybody?
See you next week because I ain't going anywhere.
yeah. Be conscious.
I
Be
think everyone is.
Yeah.
Be safe out there, people. I tend to believe social distancing makes sense, but also don't put yourself in a dark room where you end
No.
up finding that you're upset and you're depressed. It's not going to work in your favor. Your brain is every bit as valuable as every other part of your body, and you need to remember that. So I don't know where that fine line is. If it means just listening to a podcast, then we're going to do our part to try to put one out every week.
Go outside, hang out with your neighbors. That's what I say to do.
Keep a distance.
Yeah, I'm not
They're
saying you got to
fucking
play
gross.
wrestle, but I'm saying you can hang out with people.
Play wrestle.
But I'm saying if you don't have a roommate, right?
Yeah.
If you do live by yourself, don't isolate yourself to the point that you have problems. At least at a minimum, get like Marco Polo or Snapchat and start hollering at your friends.
Take a
and-
walk.
Yeah, take a walk. Do
Yeah.
something. Remember that in this time of isolation, which is very real, and it's in your best interest, but there is a mental aspect to this that you need to be cognizant of, and don't allow your brain to go the wrong way. Because I'm a perfect
like some
example.
people.
No, I'm a perfect example. Like,
Hint, hint, nudge,
just
nudge.
last Friday, I didn't sleep, and I allowed it to get the better of me, and I wasn't the person that I want to be, and I'm willing to acknowledge that, but that stuff can happen to you, and it can happen very quickly, and it's not necessarily a game. So keep safe, keep healthy, be smart. I do think social distancing at this point is going to help on some level with the whole thing, but if you get it, remember, it's not a death sentence. It is a problem, but
Yeah.
you may make it. The odds are you will. And
You may make it.
You may-
I'm not a positive
You're
person.
still not there. You're
Yeah.
still
No,
not
I'm
there.
not a positive
it's
person.
going downhill.
Yeah. Well, you're fucked. Quarantine yourself. Call Stu's dad.
Yeah.
No, just take care of yourselves, people. We are thinking of you. You know, the ones that do listen to this show.
And if you need
You're
someone
our
to interact
family.
with, interact with us. We'll be on social
Interact
media.
with the show. We'll try to interact. We're probably gonna have a lot more time to interact.
Yeah.
Now's the time. You know the places you can do it. We're on Facebook. Reach out to us. You'll probably hear from Ely.
I'm on Facebook.
We're on Instagram at
That's
ITPH
Ely.
Podcast. That's probably again Ely.
Yeah.
We're on Twitter at the same handle. You can send us money in this time of financial crisis. Probably not in your best interest to do so, but we'll always take it.
Yes.
That's at Venmo, at Inside the Pallet House. Or you can always reach out to us on the email account, which is at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. You can send us reviews. There's a very likely possibility that you'll be able to call in. in the next little bit. We'll probably set up a Google number because God knows Boo Boo already has my address. I don't want everyone having my phone number too. So we'll go ahead.
I'll give you
and,
that. Just hit me up.
So, and thank you, Boo Boo, for the dropping off the beer this week. That
We
really,
love it.
It's good stuff.
We
That
love
really
you, Boo
was
Boo.
an interesting drop right before the world caved.
Did we get a deli ding there?
Oh, we got a deli.
Oh,
ding.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Know what? Ding
We
it for
never
him.
dinged it. That was a deli.
That is the Devil's Backbone Gold Leaf. It was a tasty damn beer.
Go out and buy some while you can still go out and buy some.
Yeah, I mean that's likely to shut down. So today in Pennsylvania they shut down the ABC stores.
Ohio shut down.
Yeah,
everything.
tonight all
Maryland
ABC
shut
stores.
down
Tonight.
everything.
And going into St. Patrick's Day,
That's the,
Ireland closed pubs last night. Pubs.
That's the
That's not
wrong
good.
thing to do.
Keep drinking that alcohol.
I'm making an ABC store run tomorrow. That's it.
It actually completely depresses
Yeah.
your immune system, so maybe you shouldn't. But
Stay pickled.
neither
Sweet.
here nor there.
Way to go.
Like, thank you guys so much for the support, listening. We're all going through a tough time, but I know this is a small family, but it's a family. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Stay safe. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
That was our last podcast, don't you think?
Oh, shit. He's been holding that one.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
I literally just stepped on you twice with my dad's trying to give him a shout out because I know he's
Give your
sick
dad a
at home.
shout out. I'm out.
That was a really good podcast, don't you think?
That's right.
Mom, Dad, I hope you're feeling better. We'll talk to you. Cheers.